You know, we have so much fun during the show. We want you in on the fun. There's a lot that goes on that you don't see on camera. But you know what? We always keep a seat for you here in the studio audience. So stop by and join us. Bring your friends. Bring your family. You got a group at church? Bring them. Youth group, neighbors, co-workers. You know what? If you want to come by yourself, please do that, because we promise you, you're going to have a great time. If you'd like to book your seat, all you have to do is visit delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. You're going to find a section that says For the Audience. Now, it's going to be easier for you if you've got your phone handy. Just give us a call. There's the number, 443-880-9116. We look forward to seeing you.
Well, if it's almost prime wedding season, and one of the most important decisions a bride-to-be will make, well, with her sweetheart, is what cake to serve at the wedding.
Take a look at this. There's round cake, there's square cake, there's themed cake, there's tiered cake. There are cakes that look more like art than they do food, and that's just a start.
Our next guests know all about it. Dana Evans is the owner of Classic Cakes in Salisbury, and pastry chef Melissa Duran also joins us this afternoon. Thank you, ladies, for coming in and bringing all of these beautiful cakes. Now, we mentioned some of the traditional ways to serve wedding cakes are changing. There's different kinds of cakes you can get now. What's the trend?
Well, I'm going to let Melissa take that one.
Well, I find that the trend these days are brides are really getting away from like that big giant wedding, 400 people, doing more of like an intimate kind of, so smaller cakes are a trend these days. Cupcakes are always in, especially for showers and rehearsals, and then we do the cake pops now, and then the
They're
other
really
trend,
big. Yeah.
the other trend is people are doing smaller cakes, and then they'll do a whole table of different types of desserts and different types of things.
All right, and you brought a cake because they don't just let us stand in the kitchen and look at the cake. We are going to actually decorate the cake, and this is a Smith Island cake.
Yes, it is.
And you have requests for Smith Island cakes for weddings?
All the time, being in this area and it being such a popular thing in the area, people want to do Smith Island cakes, and they don't necessarily want it to look like a Smith Island cake on the outside. They want it to look like a regular wedding cake, and then once you cut it, it's just like a Smith Island inside.
All right, put us to work. You're going to show us how to do this.
So first we're going to ice our cake.
Okay.
And
how many of these do you do a day, do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't even count anymore.
No.
That's how many.
Yeah. I mean, and there's all different types of techniques to icing a cake, and pretty much everybody does it differently. There's lots of different tools and different things to use. I use what's called an icer, or a speed icer.
Okay. And what about colors of cakes? Are we seeing bold colors? And I know we've got some pretty amazing colors here.
Yeah, I feel like brides, it is still popular to do like the all white, but I think these days brides want at least a splash of color. You know, something that just adds a little bit of accent, a little bit of pop.
All right.
All right. So the first thing we do is we're gonna ice our cake. Basically, when you ice a wedding cake, you want the cake to be covered.
Okay.
Because you're basically covering any imperfections,
Covering
anything you
those
don't
10
want to
layers.
see. Yeah.
Okay, so Lisa, you're going to do it just exactly like that, right?
Sure, Jimmy.
Wow.
I'll have you do a bit of the decorating part.
Oh, she's going to actually cover the cake, and we're going to do the decorating. Now,
Yeah.
Dana, the cake pops, your daughter had them at her wedding.
She did, and it was one of her cake favors. And I mean, a cake favor. It was one of her favors, the cake pop. And we had tons of people call about that.
Great.
And everybody was talking about it. So that was a big deal at, at her wedding.
Ah.
Take a look at this. Okay, well, I got a question for you. If you choose to have a Smith Island cake for a wedding cake, can you stack it?
Yeah, we do stacked cakes. We do them all, they're all round. We can't do the Smith Islands in square.
Yeah.
But we do stacked cakes, and we do them as big as a 3-tier.
You make that look so easy.
We also do single Smith Island cakes. Sometimes people want to do like a tiered Smith Island cake, and they'll do some traditional ones to go with it or around it. That way they have a lot of different, most of the time when brides want to do Smith Island for their wedding, they want a lot of different choices, lots of different flavors.
Now this is actually icing you're using. It's not the fondant, what we see on these other cakes, right?
Right, this is buttercream. Fondant is a rolled icing. Basically, if I were gonna be covering this with fondant, you basically roll fondant out into like a sheet, and you drape it over, and it takes the shape of the cake.
All right, it's time for us to get to work. We're gonna decorate. Jimmy,
All right.
you ready?
No. I'm watching her do this.
I know.
And she's carrying on a conversation and making this.
She makes it look so easy.
So this is a pastry bag. This holds your icing, and I brought a color. It's a little easier to do white on white because then it doesn't show your imperfections. But I brought a color so that you could see. But basically, the key to this is pressure and angle.
Okay.
So I'll show you on the side, and then I'll probably have you do on the top.
Do it on the top so that our audience and viewers can see it.
So basically, you want to be close enough to your cake, but you're not touching it, just the icing. It is. You squeeze, and then you just pull.
Oh, that's all.
Oh, okay. Squeeze and pull.
Yeah. And I sort of just go based on instinct.
All right, Jimmy, go for it.
Oh, you're going to make me do it. Okay.
So
All right.
I hold right here.
Hold there and squeeze here. And I'm squeezing and
It's
pulling.
easy. Squeezing and pulling.
Squeezing and pulling. Down close, right?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to let Jimmy
I don't even know
finish
what I'm doing
this
here.
up. You're doing a great job.
I have no idea
That
what
looks great.
I don't even know what to do next.
I do different C's and S's.
Oop.
Right now, let's take a look at what's coming up in the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6. Keep decorating. Keep going. You're doing great.